Have you read a story in the Draoithe Saga and come away with a classic case of immersion after effect? Let me guess, there are questions which remain unanswered even as the magic expanded, adding another layer to the dream. The grand desire to turn the page to discover what happened next ended with the last leaf turned. If you're asking where the remedy for the book hangover is, you know the answer: read another story. But you aren't ready for the next tale, not yet. The dust needs to settle before you pick up the next volume. So you have found your way here. You aren't alone. Even the author can't get enough. As you hear this, Ophelia Key writes on. But allow me to offer you a possibility, a reflection on the tale you recently finished, and a way to revisit the story to ease the story blues. Welcome to the Draoithe Saga After Party. Warning, spoiler alerts ahead. Turn back now if you wish to read the story blind.
Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into some truly fascinating source material. We've got excerpts from Druid Ancestry by Ophelia Key. And this isn't just any story, right? It's volume 1 of the Lion's Gate miniseries, which is itself a spin-off from the larger Draoithe Saga.
That's right.
And it comes with some very specific warnings. We're talking adult themes, fantasy violence, explicit sexual situations.
Definitely. So our mission really is to look past maybe the surface level shock value and extract the real insights here.
Yeah, what are the powerful themes, the character dynamic?
Exactly. What's immediately captivating, I think, is the world the author builds. It's described as a dream to live for. You've got myths, legends, fairy tales all walking around, magic seeking balance.
Right, and it's set in Tyler, Texas, of all places. 2016, but magically realist.
Precisely. Right. Which kind of grounds it, but also hints at this bigger destiny for the characters. The whole saga is about restoring magical balance, often, like one couple at a time. So it sets a really unique stage for the character study we're about to get into, especially around themes like ownership, desire, survival, really.
That definitely sets a powerful stage. Maybe a disturbing one, too. So as we meet the people calling this dream home, what immediately stands out to you? What's a core dynamic the author wants us to grasp right away?
Well, what hits you almost immediately is the character Lazlo Greyson. And his profound loneliness, there's this dark side driving him. On the surface, he's got it all, right? Self-made millionaire, CEO, heir to this ancient Gaelic lineage, all the external markers of success.
Yeah, it looks perfect on paper.
But we learn he's just completely unfulfilled by shallow relationships. He's craving something different, something forbidden even.
And it's striking how upfront the author is about that darkness. We see it very early on. How does revealing his, quote, twisted inclination so soon prepare us for what's coming?
I think it's crucial. It puts his core desire front and center: dominance. The text says he needed a submissive woman who could ease the darker cravings he had. Someone who would, crave his touch and desire whatever he needed to do to her, no matter the depravity.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not just a preference. It's described as a dark side, heavily pressing him toward twisted inclinations. It's so strong, he actually considers just buying a woman.
Buying her.
Yeah. And that core desire, mixed with the loneliness, that's really the spark that ignites the whole plot.
And these dark desires then find a pretty horrifying outlet through another character, Peter Elliot, described as dubious, a drug pusher.
Right.
How does Elliot's nefarious offer take Lazlo's private fantasies and make them suddenly very real, very unsettling?
Well, Elliot basically offers Lazlo what the book calls a submissive, trained, enslaved girl.
Okay.
And Lazlo admits this appeals directly to that darker nature we were talking about. His curiosity is just piqued. So much so that he's willing to overlook Elliot's connections to, seriously dark organized crime.
So he knows this guy is bad news, but the offer's too tempting.
Exactly. It shifts instantly from this internal private desire to a very external, transactional, and deeply problematic exchange.
On the other side of this transaction, we have Saraya Heffernan. She's introduced as this enchanting young woman, an orphan, but also trained specifically for a Druid king, which hints at some kind of power structure in this world.
Significant magical and societal power, yeah.
Her situation is just dire. She's at this boarding school run by Peter Elliot, the same dubious character.
The very same one.
And the girls there are undergoing experimental medical procedures. How does her desperate need for safety shape how she approaches this terrifying situation.
Her predicament is incredibly stark. We learn that girls who failed his test at the school, they were just sold off to the highest bidders.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So for Saraya, her only way out, her only escape from a really sinister future is to secure a wealthy sponsor.
Any sponsor.
Any sponsor. Because the alternative, as she knows it, is being sold to a warehouse to serve multiple men repeatedly until she paid what she owed. Just awful.
That's horrifying.
And the author really emphasizes her education, if you can call it that. It cultivated submissive behavior through harsh, painful methods, isolation, and deprivation. All designed basically to make her please any man who might sponsor her.
It's a chilling setup. So when Lazlo and Saraya finally meet, she's presented as, perfect, polished, intelligent, multilingual, demure.
Exactly.
But we, the readers, understand this perfection is just a cover for absolute desperation.
Yeah.
How does that dynamic play out when Lazlo actually makes his intentions clear?
Saraya knows her position. She thinks she's nothing unless some rich man changed things. She sees that her only chance, literally her only chance at life, is to fully commit to being whatever this man wants, to be submissive.
Even knowing what that might entail.
Even knowing it won't be a proper life. It's just the best she feels she can hope for. She even rationalizes that Lazlo, despite his strange needs and requests, seemed like a good man compared to the other absolutely abhorrent options she faces.
And Lazlo's reaction to her.
He's immediately captivated, finds her stunning, almost too perfect.
The encounter itself is pivotal, isn't it? Lazlo's very direct, almost crass. He asks if she'd warm his bed to repay the sponsorship.
Right, very blunt.
And Saraya's response is so revealing. She doesn't refuse, does she?
No, she admits she lacks experience, which kind of perversely appeals directly to Lazlo's desire for ultimate control. He likes the idea that his own idiosyncrasies would seem normal to her because she knows nothing else.
So her vulnerability, born of desperation, actually feeds his specific desires.
Precisely. Her willingness to submit, even if it's totally rooted in desperation and lack of options, becomes a central theme. And Lazlo's requirements are laid out explicitly. Companionship, attending social events, meeting his masculine needs.
And crucially, no interference with his business.
Right. And Saraya agrees. There's this sense of resignation, but her agreement ironically makes Lazlo feel like he's won.
And then he signs a contract.
Yes, a contract that makes her his property upon graduation. It really cements this transactional ownership dynamic.
And the implications of that ownership are immediate and profound. His control just extends to every single part of her existence.
Every part.
Her physical body, for instance. He dictates contraception and implant that stops her periods because he doesn't want children, and finds the, quote, messy affair inconvenient.
Yeah, it's that level of control.
And her freedom of movement? He demands a tracking device be put under her skin. He calls it protection.
But she recognizes it for what it is, a way to ensure she could never leave.
He even controls her diet, insists she stays slender. These mechanisms just underscore his absolute dominion. It's a systematic dismantling of her autonomy.
Absolutely. And he outlines her public behavior too. Call him a Lazlo in public, but my lord in private. Agree with him. Don't speak unless spoken to. Avoid discussing her past.
It's like a script for her entire life.
It is. He explicitly states his need for her to learn to accept my will in place of your own.
Yeah.
And then there's this really chilling, blunt admission he makes.
What does he say?
He says, I'll hurt you, pleasure you, abuse you, toy with you, and still expect you to converse with me, stand at my side, and play your role.
Okay, wow.
I'll force you to need the pain as much as the pleasure. You'll be mine, and I'll never share. I want to ruin you for other men.
He literally says he wants to ruin her.
Explicitly. It lays out the psychological conditioning he fully intends to inflict.
It's an incredibly stark confession, and then we see him begin her, quote, submission training. Initially, he hires a professional to do it.
Yes, while he watches via video link.
He watches someone else inflict pain on her.
He observes as the trainer inflicts pain, drags her by the hair, uses a rod for mistakes. The author states outright that the sadist inside had to see it happen, and that watching her suffer actually made the darkness in him relax.
So it's not just about control, it's about his own psychological needs being met through her suffering. What does this reveal about his character, about the nature of his love, as the book frames it?
Well, this is where these themes of twisted love and addiction really start to manifest in a truly chilling way. Because despite the brutality, Saraya starts to develop a dependence on Lazlo.
How so?
She actually expresses a preference for Lazlo taking over the training himself. She feels it's a betrayal to give that kind of intense focus to another man. She tells him she finds it much easier to give you what you desire.
She wants him to be the one hurting her.
In a way, yes. And her honest reports back to him, detailing her fear and discomfort with the trainer, they actually deepen Lazlo's obsession with her. He loves her honesty, this growing connection, even in this incredibly messed up context.
And his obsession definitely becomes all-consuming. He confesses she's the sexiest of his two current obsessions, the other being his work. He uses this really graphic metaphor, wanting to crack open the puzzle and get the gooey contents from inside and run his hands through it, smearing it all over.
Yeah, it's intense imagery. His dreams shift from business deals entirely to her.
And we even see this possessiveness flare up, right? He fires the trainer.
He does, but not out of kindness. He fires him for striking Saraya's face. It demonstrates his determination that no one damages her, except him.
Only he gets to inflict the damage.
Exactly. The relationship then progresses rapidly into this really intense cycle. Every night, Lazlo visits her, he gives commands, he marks her body, bite marks, bruises, mixing pain and pleasure to such an extreme degree that Saraya apparently lost her mind.
Lost her mind.
She begins to beg for more of everything he did to her. She becomes unable to resist. The narrative portrays her as a quivering mess, not just entirely consumed by him. It really highlights the psychological impact of this deliberate conditioning.
It's fascinating and disturbing how the narrative blurs these lines so starkly. Saraya screams his name, begs him to make it feel good, even asks him to come inside me and make it hurt less. She describes him as her drug, her desperate fix, calls him the love her heart desired, and the dominance her submissive soul desired to be bound to.
Yeah, the story explicitly frames this as a kind of mutual addiction. She needed it in a way that made her feel ashamed and unable to resist him.
And Lazlo is fully aware of this dependence he's creating.
Oh, completely. He actively cultivates it. He confesses to her, I needed to hurt you. I needed it like I needed to breathe.
Wow.
He admits he forced her to crave his demented version of love, breaking her down and then putting her back together. He controls every single aspect of her life, living space, food, clothing, ensuring she's utterly dependent, to the point where Saraya becomes convinced that not being his would cause her demise.
Just total psychological capture.
Yeah.
And this systematic dismantling of her agency, it culminates in what the book calls her claiming, where Lazlo issues this really stark warning beforehand.
Yeah, it's brutal. He says, tomorrow I'm claiming you for myself. I intend to ruin you for all other men. I'll hurt you and you'll scream. It will be the worst pain you've ever endured, a pure torture. I won't stop until your body knows who owns it.
A direct threat of torture. Yet, despite this, Saraya reaffirms her willingness.
Yes, she says, I swore to serve, you swore to protect. Serving tires me. I need to sleep. Forgive me. I'm too broken to do anything else at the moment. It's this encapsulation of the entire dynamic. Her brokenness, her submission, her perceived need for his protection, even as he promises pain.
It's just, wow, a deeply disturbing dynamic at its core.
And Lazlo's response to her saying she's too broken, he pulls her into his arms, comforts her, tells her, sleep, I'll protect you. And the author notes, in his way, he loved her.
His way.
The narrative suggests Lazlo was fundamentally seeking love and acceptance, and the only way he felt he could get those things was to completely dominate a woman. And Saraya, through her total submission, gives him exactly what he needs.
Which just intensifies the addiction for both of them.
Right. Creating this cycle that, for them, becomes this really strange, twisted form of balance within their world.
So what we've really uncovered in this deep dive into Druid ancestry is, it's a story that seriously pushes the boundaries of conventional romance, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It explores these really raw edges of human desire, control, and this desperate search for safety, for connection, however warped it might seem. Power dynamics are just front and center.
They're woven into the very fabric of survival for these characters and into their definitions of love and addiction.
Yeah.
And if we try to connect this to maybe a bigger picture, it raises some pretty important questions, I think. Like, in a world where someone's personal agency is so severely limited, like we see with Saraya, how do characters even begin to redefine concepts like choice or love or belonging?
That's a huge question. And what about Lazlo? He clearly struggles with this profound loneliness, this dark side. What does his pursuit of just ultimate control reveal about maybe the human need for connection? even if it's expressed in such a well-twisted way.
Right. The story definitely makes you ponder the multifaceted nature of human needs and the lengths people will go to fulfill them. They find this strange balance in a dream that's both intoxicating and incredibly perilous.
So what does this all mean for you, listening in? Perhaps it's a reminder that stories, even ones firmly in the realm of, steamy, hot, wickedly delicious paranormal romance, can actually be a really fascinating lens, a lens to explore complex psychological and emotional landscapes. This deep dive certainly leaves you with a lot to mull over, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Especially regarding those blurred lines between power, consent, and that deeply personal quest for acceptance. Is safety truly found in total submission? Or does it maybe lie in the mutual addiction and twisted love that seems to bind these characters within this specific fantasy world?
It leaves you thinking, that's for sure.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for your support. For more, visit opheliakey.com. Welcome to the dream. Sincerely. Okay.